Make my mama stop working, that's the promise. Going big, going big. Everywhere I go, they know the click. Way too many wins, they know the shit. They was hating, know they sick, acting like they know me.
We welcome you back to the mile-high city of Denver, Colorado. It's Seahawk football as we rejoin the action in the second quarter. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. Here's Wilson to throw. Now they go screen. It's complete. And he will lose yardage and be backed up to the 24. It'll be a loss of 1, and that'll bring up a 2nd and 11. Got to give some credit there defensively. They snuffed out that screen early on 1st down.
Really read it well, didn't they? Because they didn't bring the pressure that they expected. They covered all the passing lanes. So once you see it break down as the passer, I think in this situation, you're throwing it at the feet of your back to make sure no one picks it up, or you throw it away, throw it over the sideline. Don't try and freelance and try and make a bigger play. There's really no one else running a pattern that should be open.
That one good for a 1st down pickup of 18 yards.
I know many people like to throw to the tight end, maybe in a little flexed out position because he creates mismatches with his size. But slot receivers do the same thing with their quickness, their speed, and their route running savvy.
An inaugural trip to the red zone here for the Seahawks. They've got a 1st and goal to go at the 7. They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And he will score. Touchdown, Seattle. J.D. McKissick, his 3rd touchdown now on the year, as his guys have now moved out in front. Heck of a start to his season. He had 2 touchdowns in the opener last week, another one here in week 2.
Well, I don't want to call him a touchdown machine this early, but sometimes you get locked in, and you feel good about things. You get into that zone, and those touchdowns come in bunches. He may be off to that kind of a start.
It's like he was shot out of a cannon. I would imagine success this early, great momentum going forward for the rest of the year.
He keeps this up, they'll soon be chanting MVP anytime he touches the ball.
Extra point up and through by Myers. And the lead is now 10-7. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. And Denver getting set to take the field. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means they're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of 1st downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. The drive will commence with a run by Lindsey. And he's upended at the 33 following a good pickup of 8.
They'd love to just strike back with a touchdown right here, and if it's a long play, so be it. But the main goal, get a couple of 1st downs, run some plays, run some clock, allow their defense to get a chance to catch their breath, settle down, and relax a little bit after they just gave up a score.
A reminder, coming up at halftime, we'll head to Orlando. Standing by there, Jonathan Coachman. He'll have stats and scores from around the NFL in this 2nd week of the regular season. The pass there complete to Sutton, and he'll bring it up here to right at the 40-yard line. That one, a 1st down pickup of 8. Looking to throw. Herbert.
This has to go down as one of the simpler routes in the playbook, but oh so effective. Nice completion there. Keeps the sticks moving.
5 yards on the pickup, and it's a 2nd down. 2nd and 5. And at his size, he's a smaller back. You can get him to football. He can kind of get lost, make someone miss. It's good for him.
Yeah, it's great for him. I like what you said there. Sometimes he gets lost in the traffic a little bit, but get him out in the open field into some space. That plays to his strengths the best and keeps him out of it where all the big boys are, make him make someone miss in the open field. Didn't have a receiver open downfield, and as it turned out, couldn't even find his outlet man because of the coverage. It was way too tight, unable to find anyone open.
Anger is on to punt, and he gets this one away.
Let's go. Let's do this.
Tyler Lockett trotting onto the field, getting set for this next drive. They've got the lead. They haven't really had to utilize him all that much so far, but I guess if you're winning on the scoreboard, not too much to complain about.
Not at all, but you know those guys out wide, they want as many catches as they can possibly get. They may need him later on if things get a little tighter.
Yeah, so far 2 catches. We'll see what happens here as the game progresses. Now, the first play of the drive there is incomplete. Not sure what happened out there, but it looked like the timing was a little off on that throw.
Well, you know I'm a defender, so what am I going to say?
Great defense.
Darn right. They did something to disrupt that timing.
Once again, they'll go from the 23-yard line on 2nd and 10. Wilson going to fake the give and keep it himself. To the right side and complete to Metcalf. 6 yards is the pickup to their timeouts, as they'll stop it with 14 seconds to go in this first half. Now here's Michael Dixon as he's on to punt for Seattle. He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. Nice job bringing that one back. 14 on the return. And there'll be time for maybe one final play before halftime. The offense now at the line, ready for their next drive. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
Okay, Brandon, we'll get you back to you and Charles in a bit, but first it's time for a trip around the NFL following an eventful opening weekend. Let's see what's happening in Week 2. We'll begin out west, a battle for California supremacy as the LA Rams head up north to take on Oakland. And it's the Rams who have the lead in the second quarter. Todd Gurley has a touchdown run. From there, it's over to our nation's capital to check on the Redskins at home at FedEx Field. And as you see, they were winners earlier this afternoon. 31-10 was the final score. Finally, let's get to the desert. Let's check on the Cardinals at home in Glendale. And they trail in that one as it's the visiting 49ers who are out in front. The 49ers locked in a tight one, but this is a game you feel they've got to have. In our game has been Russell Wilson, who was dynamic, as usual, in that first half. His guys lead, though by only a field goal. Still anybody's game. As we send it back to Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
Thank you, sir. A field goal separates these two teams as we come back for this second half. And he's up past the 20 to the 22-yard line.
Let's go.
So here are the Seahawks ready to take over on offense. They were 3-point winners a week ago. They lead by 3 here as well as they start 1st and 10. Wilson and the Seahawks take over now 1st and 10 at their own 22. Here's Wilson. Rush coming, and he's taken down.
Now, we talk about players blitzing all the time. I often laugh and sometimes call it just straight-ahead pursuit. What a running start right back to the backfield for him.
Yeah, it really didn't give anybody a chance to get up there and stop him.
No, I mean, that's really, really difficult. You're asking a whole lot anyway, but when he gets that kind of a start and comes through clean, oftentimes the advantage definitely goes to the defensive player.
That catch good for 5. It's 3rd down.
And when you're playing a quarterback with some experience and some moxie, you enter the danger zone when you decide to blitz him, because if he's able to diagnose as he did on that play, he can hurt you downfield.
He reads defenses so well, doesn't he?
He really does, and the best part about that play for him, I don't think that was his primary target.
I don't think so either.
I think he had the read, figured out where the blitz was coming from, and went to a secondary target for a really nice gain.
The result, a 1st down as a quick slant gets him 14.
Like so many tight ends nowadays, they have no problem at all putting him in the slot and letting him go to work, and that's a nice pitch and catch right there for a 1st down.
Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. From the shotgun, Wilson looking for his running back, and he's got him. And a 6-yard gain gets him right around the 43.
I know most of the time when the ball's in the air, you're thinking wide receiver, tight end, but running backs, they can be a big part of any passing offense nowadays.
6 yards was the pickup on the last completion, so here's 2nd and 4. They go read option with Wilson. And he'll slide down to avoid the contact.
Well, partner, for a few years there, we thought this read option play was going to take over the whole NFL. It seemed like everyone was using it, but it has been scaled back considerably in the last few seasons, mainly because people are worried about their quarterbacks getting hit. But when you call it at the right time and you use it properly, you see the type of gains you can get. A nice chunk of yardage there by the quarterback.
They'll run with McKissick. He'll get about 4 here, down to the 43-yard line.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them. To throw on 2nd and 6, Wilson. Oh, he got position on him, and he pulls it in. And this is going to be another first down as they'll make the tackle at the Broncos' 24-yard line.
Never make the mistake that the slot receivers, especially the little guys like we're watching here, are just quicker than fast. A lot of them combine quickness and speed, and they catch a lot of footballs, as we just saw there.
Wilson going to lead his guys up 1st and 10. And he's 4 for 4 now, throwing the ball to start the drive. Here's Wilson. He'll buy some time right. And he'll go out of bounds in the red zone just inside the 20. He'll get 8 on the scramble there. It'll be 2nd and a couple.
They brought the blitz that time, and I thought they were going to get to him, but instead he flipped it on its ear and ended up picking up positive yardage.
I thought he was dead to rights, but you are exactly correct, sir, able to turn that into a positive gain. They'll get 3 as the drive continues. It's a first down.
I think they like this drive a little bit better there, partner. Running game helping out, picking up some of the slack. Because remember, the last drive, they went 3 and out.
What? Push him back. Push him back.
Now a handoff looking right. And he is in for the Seattle touchdown.
Great job. Touchdown.
A great effort there. His 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Seahawks are able to stretch that lead out a bit further. A good, sustained drive there in this 3rd quarter, capping it off with a touchdown to give them a nice 2-score advantage.
It was actually a fun one to watch, wasn't it? I mean, for me, seeing the mix of what they did, how they moved the ball downfield, very sharp, too. Each and every play seemed to be executed with great dispatch.
Myers connects on the PAT, and the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. That's fielded in the end zone. And they'll put up the stop sign there as his guys will get it at the 25. So now a look at the Broncos as they head back out there for their first possession of the 2nd half. And their halftime hole now even deeper, and they need a big drive here just to answer the first touchdown of the 2nd half scored against them.
They were down at the half. Now, as you mentioned, they're down a little bit bigger, but no time for discouragement. Just got to get back to it, right? Put your shoulder against the boulder and start pushing and try and get back to where you were to start the half.
And he takes us up to the 40-yard line before being corralled. 15 yards is the pickup there, and the drive starting very nicely. First down.
Sometimes it's hard to believe, but there are times this game is about patience, isn't it? Has had the game he expected, but that run there, that may get him going.
I was just going to say, maybe that gives him a little juice, because you're right, he struggled, especially in that first half.
Yeah, and I know the great ones always think to themselves, just hang in there. I'm just one big carry away from busting this open. That's a good start for him.
On first down, right back to Lindsey. And running room scarce here. He's going to be stopped in his tracks at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play. It'll be 2nd down. To throw on 2nd down. Herbert, pass incomplete.
Oh, man, that was close. The opportunity to change momentum, big play, right in his hands, unable to come down with it.
A sigh of relief, no doubt, on offense as that fell harmlessly to the ground. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. And he'll get this up near midfield, but that's still a few yards shy of the first down.
A short gain that doesn't get them the first down brings up a fourth down situation.
Really nice job defensively. They knew where the sticks were. They got the stop before it. Here's Brian Anger now. He's been one of their few bright spots so far. And he deserves a bronze leg as he gets this one away. And that one hits a little too close to the goal line, and it continues into the end zone for a touchback. The Seattle offense now set to come back out on the field. Last time they were out here, they had the benefit of good field position, led to a touchdown. This time, they're going to have to work for it.
They are, but with that last drive that culminated in a touchdown, I think they carry that confidence into this one. Doesn't matter where you start with the football now, they have to feel great about their opportunity.
They will run it. It's McKissick. And he'll be upended after a gain of 5, up to the 25-yard line.
Third quarter and you've got the lead. You're not ready to go into that 4-minute offense to close the game out, but a running game can really benefit your team right now.
The throw over the middle taken in, and he's brought down, getting this one up to about the 35. And a good quarterback facing zone coverage. If he has just a little bit of time to survey the scene, that's what's going to happen.
No doubt about it. If there's no pressure, he's going to continue to pick them apart because he'll have all that time to find someone open downfield. You can only cover for so long. So maybe they want to go to a zone blitz scheme, get a little bit more pressure. Remember when Carolina did that against Denver? They lost the game ultimately.
He'll be brought down by the Broncos. It's a sack. Dean Lowry able to take him down. It's a loss of 3.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
So following the sack, they'll try to change their fortune here on 2nd and 13. Now Wilson. And he slings one that's incomplete. And Charles, got to like what this defense has been able to do these last couple of plays.
Yeah, they get the sack on first down, then they force the incomplete pass. Now they're just a play away from getting the football right back, but it's a big play. They've got to hold up.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. Open man is Metcalf. He's got it. And out across midfield down to the 45. 23 yards, the final tally. He's such a good route runner. Shows it there on 3rd down. Very proficient and a good pass.
And you know what I've observed over the years in the NFL? The better a route runner you are, the more confidence your guy's going to have in you to go to you in important times because he can trust you being in the right spot, and they connected there and picked up a first down.
Wilson now perfect since the second half started. 7 of 7. It's 1st and 10. Throwing is Wilson. And he's going to be hit and taken down. Back right around the 48-yard line. Von Miller picks up his 2nd sack of the afternoon. Man, he got in there so quickly, Charles. What could the offense have done to adjust and account for that?
But what you're hoping is that you figure out and you see and get a clue that maybe there's going to be some pressure coming at you, and you change the blocking schemes. Maybe you go to max protection. The biggest one is maybe you bring your running back in to try and keep you clean. But in that case, that didn't happen. 0 accountability, and a sack resulted.
Room to run inside the 40. And he'll finally be taken down at the 18. And he's taken down, but not before he gets to the Broncos' 18.
Looks to me like maybe there's a little attrition setting in with this drive, because when you see that type of a run, I get the feeling the defense getting a little bit tired.
And that's the last thing they need, especially when they look up at the scoreboard. So the big play means just like that, they'll operate from the red zone now on 1st down. Here's McKissick. And he'll take it from the 18 to the 15, a gain of 3.
And that's one of the reasons you like to blitz even on run downs. It confuses the blocking assignments. It doesn't allow those offensive linemen to get up to the 2nd level.
On 2nd and 7, Wilson. And that one not to be. It's incomplete. So they couldn't hook up as time has now run out on this third quarter of play. Welcome back now to Denver. It's the Seahawks with the possession. They also have the lead here as we get set for the fourth and final quarter. An 8-play drive to this point. So here's play number 9 on 3rd and 7. Wilson. End zone caught. Touchdown, Seattle. Tyler Lockett, his second touchdown on the season. Yeah, the Seahawks, they're able to stretch that lead out a bit further. And he's a little bit on the shorter side as a receiver. Maybe sometimes for the defense, tough to find the little guys, right?
Yeah, sometimes they get lost in the traffic, but usually what it means is that rather than just winning with height or even speed, they use their quickness to find a way to get open.
Well, tall, short, wide, skinny, whatever, there it results in a touchdown. Extra point up and through by Myers. And the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. So that one a pretty time-consuming 10-play drive. And the Seahawks capping it off with a touchdown. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Here's the Denver offense now as they get set to take over here. And with this deficit, you can't have too many more drives like the last drive where you had to punt it away.
You know what I would tell my offense right here? The punter doesn't exist, guys. He doesn't even exist. He's not a team anymore. I just cut him. All right? So you've got to go out and create some offense.
The ball popped in the air and intercepted. Picked off at the 38. And he's going to score. It's a Seahawk touchdown. That's the story of the game. They've been suffocating all game long on defense. They were suffocating there again in a big way.
And they've done it not just by out-athleting them, which is often the case, but by being able to adjust to anything they tried to throw at them and beating them to the punch each and every time. This was a defense that was well prepared.
The extra point now coming from Myers. And the lead is now 24. A heck of a play there defensively, getting the interception, navigating his way into the end zone for the touchdown. So they throw the pick six. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. And Denver getting set to take the field. And they just had that pick six. I guess the only positive maybe of them returning that for a touchdown. This offense right back out onto the field to try to make up for it.
I like that because now it doesn't give them a chance to go to the bench and really settle. You know, to sit there and kind of seethe over the idea that they turned the ball over previously. Right back out there. It's almost like hopping right back on the bike after falling over. See if they can get the ball moving again.
Yeah, we'll see if they can do it here. They'll break the huddle, come up on 2nd and 8 at the 27-yard line. Here's 2nd and 8. Throw left side complete. That's Lindsey. And they work this well upfield across the 45. That one good for 20 on the catch and run.
We always talk about having to read defenses and how complicated that is. Well, this was an excellent read. Read the pressure and got rid of the football before it even got to him for a nice game.
And when they're blitzing like that, running back usually a good spot to go with a football?
Without a doubt, because he's right in your sight line or he's near you. So you're able to just get it to him easily. And once he gets in space, that's usually a good matchup for him.
This quarterback now, 5 straight completions here in this second half. First and pressure comes. He's taken down by the Seahawk defense. Cassius Marsh. He's the one that got home and takes him down for a loss of 9.
We've been around this league for a while, and many coaches never pull their starting quarterback, almost no matter the situation. In this case, though, I think he's got to make a decision. He's taking a pretty good beating out there.
Yeah, and with the deficit, maybe not wanting to risk an injury. And they need to work to at least get some of this yardage back after the sack. 2nd and 19. Back to throw. Herbert. And he drops it incomplete. And their struggles continue here. Another pass attempt, another incompletion. You figure defensively, you're in the fourth quarter here. You've held the team under 100 yards passing. You've done your job.
Especially in today's NFL, which is truly a pass-first league.
Now throwing on 3rd down there, but he cannot connect. Another wayward pass. You know, things started out poorly in this game, and to be frank, they just really haven't gotten much better.
And all that does is embolden the secondary. They feel good about what's going on, and they just play better and better.
Man open, that's Juwan Winfrey. And they're going to have this across midfield and inside the 45. No reason not to try it there, and they do indeed convert on 4th. Felt compelled to go for it there on 4th down, trailing in the 4th quarter. They got it done.
And there's always a lot of pressure on a 4th down call. Doesn't matter the distance. You stop to get it done, as you noted, and they did.
This quarterback now a perfect 8 for 8 to start the second half. Not bad. 1st and 10. Operating from the gun. Herbert. Wide open receiver complete. He'll get this one down near the 20-yard line, just shy of the 20. A good pickup there, 21 yards. Defensively here, you've got the cushion, but back-to-back pretty big pass plays there. Bend but don't break, but are they bending too much?
I think that they are. To me, it'd be like playing basketball, and you put up a token press. Make sure you get up there and make them eat up some time. Make it a little bit of resistance so they can't just run it right down your throat.
Ready? Mike's 5-4. Let's get it together, defense. Let's get it together. Ready?
Throwing on 1st down. Herbert, left side here. That's the tight end, Fant. And he'll take it down here just shy of the 15 at the 16-yard line. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch. Able to get 7 on that 1st down pass play. 2nd and 3. 2nd and 3. And he finds Penny. And able to get this down inside the 15, either the 13 or 14 before he's out of bounds. It'll be a 3-yard gain, and they'll be faced with a 3rd and inches.
Here we go, here we go. 18 Gator. Pull it together.
From the gun, Herbert. Quick hitter here, it's complete. And he's got the 1st down as he gets it to the 8. The gain of 5 that time gives him the conversion and makes it 1st and goal. Well, they've had a great, impressive drive going here, and that pickup ensures the drive continues.
And not only do you continue the drive, which is demoralizing for the guys on the defense side of the ball right now, but you make your own defense happy. They're able to get a little more rest over on the sidelines while this one continues downfield.
They'll run with Lindsey. And he will maneuver his way down to about the 7. Only a yard that time, 2nd and goal.
Every team we ever talk to that continues to run the ball in a game, even when they haven't had much success, all talks about attrition, don't they? If you keep running it, eventually good things are likely to happen. It's been a hard go in this game today, hasn't it?
Yeah, this defense, they met pretty much every challenge in front of them this afternoon.
They're still trying to run the ball, but they're not finding much space.
2 runs in a row, but only 2 yards to show for it. This has been a long drive. You got to figure a field goal would be a letdown. Can they convert now on 3rd and goal? And this is caught by Sutton. Touchdown, Broncos. Cortland Sutton with 2 touchdowns on the season, both in this game. And the Broncos get a bit closer. He has his 2 scores, but still a sizable deficit in this game.
Do you have him in fantasy football this week?
Unfortunately, no.
It's too bad, right? That would have been big points, but he is really trying to rally his team as best he can. Things are not going as well the rest of the way for them. That's why they're down with this deficit. He might need to score a couple of more times to give them a chance.
Lindsey going to try and run it in. So a nice job to break the 1 tackle, but not much daylight after that as he's brought down. Defensively, certainly not fooled there. Play started at the 2, and he was tackled at the 2.
That has to feel good for them. Not happy about having given up the touchdown, but stopping the 2-point conversion gives them a little bit of a lift as they head to the bench.
And the Seahawks, looks like they've recovered. They have. Well, fourth quarter, they felt like they needed the football back. Unfortunately, they couldn't get it.
And I know we brought analytics into the game, and someone has said here that the data says that when a team's expecting an onside kick, 80% of the time, the team expecting it, they do actually recover the ball, which is what we saw here. I just wonder if that number is much more of a anecdotal type of a number. Kind of like when the coaches tell us, well, when you score on special teams, 93% of the time you win the game. I'm still waiting to see that number is empirical. I like the idea to mix it up from time to time because, let's face it, you can't be predictable. But the execution was a little lacking on this one, right? They might want to go back to the drawing board with that call.
Well, the first play in the drive lost 4. Now they'll look to move it forward here on 2nd and 14. And to give this time to the tailback. And forget about finding a lane. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield. They'll wind up losing 3 yards here. And they're going to be staring at a 3rd and long here.
Brandon, it's clearly a running situation when you're up in the fourth quarter. They're going to have to stack the box and make it difficult for them to move the ball.
Made it very difficult right there. Now they need to repeat that effort.
Yeah, bring 7, 8, 9, whatever it's going to take to slow them down.
So time to start going in the other direction as they come up now 3rd and long.
Kill. Watch twins.
To throw is Wilson. And the throw there going to be incomplete. Looked like he had a couple of different options as far as who to throw to on that play. And who am I to say this, but I'm not sure he made the right decision.
Well, the window of opportunity is always going to be small in the NFL. That's why those quarterbacks who make quick decisions and have quick releases have the most success in this league.
Now here's Michael Dixon as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. And they will get to this one and down it at the 13-yard line. Now this Broncos offensive unit ready to head back out onto the field.
Ready? 15 line. You gonna see me in your night.
On 1st and 10, Herbert, and he's going to go down. Back at his own 5-yard line, it's a sack. Ziggy Ansah, that is one he will remember. It's sack number 85 of his great career, moving him past Hall of Famer Howie Long on the all-time list. Now following the sack, they'll look to make amends on a 2nd down and 17. Looking to throw. Herbert. Throwing left side here, and it's complete. And they'll mark him down right around the 9, just shy of the 10. Only 3 yards on the catch. It's 3rd down. Throwing on 3rd and long. Herbert. And he's caught on the sideline, but he's not going to have a first down. They say he was out of bounds, so a big call there that brings up 4th. Just nothing there again. He's been sacked multiple times. We've seen the interceptions, of course. He's really been through the ringer, hasn't he?
And what we've seen is a defense that's well coordinated. The front and the back really in sync. The front putting on the pressure, the backside being ball hawks and picking passes off.
Here's Brian Anger now. He's been terrific so far. Averaging 50 yards a boot so far as this one's away.
Get ready.
Seattle now ready to march onto the field. They've got the lead. Last time had to punt it, though. What's the key to this drive?
I think it's leverage.
Leverage.
Big guys up front You know the motivational speech on the sideline is, guys, give us an opportunity. Protect the passer, create space for our runners, and let's go ahead and get these guys. Low man wins. Let's go do it on this drive.
We'll watch that leverage on this drive. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. So it's Seahawk football as we march toward a conclusion. And the scoreboard on their side, they're just looking to melt away these final couple of minutes and put this one in the left-hand column. And he'll bring it up here to right at the 40-yard line. It's a pickup of 12, and that'll set up a third down.
Slant route's effective no matter who's running the route and catching the ball. But when you have a receiver of that stature, you have to be a little bit more precise throwing it. You don't have the same catch radius with the bigger targets.
The offense on third down tonight, not quite 50%, 4 for 9. They're looking at third in the nose of the football. Here's the sneak with Wilson. And he's got the first down yardage before he's brought down at the 42. He'll wind up getting 2 there as he does it himself and picks up the first.
There may have been a little bit of an element of surprise there. 3rd and inches, and they go quarterback sneak. I still feel like this is a play that often is reserved for 4th down.
They'll run it now out of the gun. He was brought down there by Will Parks.
Tough day, tough sledding right there, and it's been that way the entire game. Not a whole lot of room to ramble for him.
Yeah, you're right. It's been that way all afternoon. Didn't get a whole lot better there. So the victory here for Seattle, and they were buoyed, Charles, by a big second half to put this one on ice.
And I know a lot of people watching this one were thinking to themselves, I bet halftime was really interesting. Probably took the paint off the walls with some of the words that were said. But I get the sense it was much more of the adjustments they made. They came in with a game plan that we saw that didn't work in the first half. They made the adjustments necessary, went away from that, and then they got it together, got a spark, and then took off. It's really nice to watch in the second half.
So for the Seahawks, it's a dream start. 2 wins in 2 early road games. And they will head back home next week. Meanwhile, for the Broncos, they'll drop to 0-2. And they'll look to regroup next week as they head to Houston to take on the Texans. That'll do it for us. I'm Brandon Gaudin alongside Charles Davis. Thanks to our entire crew as well. We'll talk to you next time. So long, everybody.